It almost makes you want to cry, makes you want to move, and you feel helpless.
Now, you ever seen one run?
Yes,
they run fast.
You ever seen the things run?
Yeah, they crawl very
You know what I
fast.
do? You're gonna laugh at this. I bet you I'm the only one in the building that does this. I pick up the bed bug, and I go to the toilet, lift the seat, and I put it on the edge, and I take a razor blade and cut the bed bug in half, push it into the water,
I ain't got
and
time
flush
for all
it.
that.
But
That's
that's
crazy.
I know it's dead by doing that.
Because bed bugs can cling to you.
I've been depressed about the situation and thought about moving many a times, but then realizing that they're all over Nassau County, it will be pointless for me to move because you have no guarantees they're not going to be in the next building that I go to. And, there's only a few apartments in Nassau County that's wheelchair accessible, so it's limited where I can go anyway.
The whole building is infested. They're in the walls.
The building's been here for at least 40 years at the very least. It was a hotel. But it only opened to be in apartments about 8 years ago. So I believe that, the bed bugs were probably already in the building, before we moved here.
And you should say Barbara Fletcher's apartment, she was inundated. And I couldn't think of a better word to use. She was inundated with bed bugs. Everything she owned was in plastic.
When Constantine fell, both times, he lays on the carpet until the ambulance comes. So when they got him to the hospital on the operating table, because he had to have stitches, but it wasn't that bad because there was no blood on the road. He was covered with bed bugs for laying on the floor a half an hour. They were crawling off him.
I'm saying that the bed bugs are so outrageous that my family cannot come to my apartment because they're afraid of being bit by bed bugs.
I have 2 grandkids that, they're not really allowed to sleep over because of it, because I have one granddaughter who's highly allergic and she's very sensitive to the bed bugs, so she's had like an, allergic reaction, so of course I can't have her stay on a regular basis.
Well, I got 4 weeks, I got a whole month, 2 months. I'll be running with a bed ball into my house and into my mattress. I spend out of my money $250 and not get no reimbursement because the landlord said he get no reimbursement that money.
You got
Speaking up to
to
the mayor.
let your voice be heard.
Be
Instead of
heard.
sitting down talking behind your doors, then when politics or somebody come, you sit there and
We may have 108 apartments in here, and you may only have 40 people who are willing to even admit that they have them, which causes a big problem. Everybody's saying no, not me. So that means that all those apartments are not being treated. That means that they're not getting rid of some of their infested furniture. And so that means that the problem's never going to go away. It's gonna get worse.